All right, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a forecast for Ethereum this week. What prices to look out for, what ranges to potentially find an optimal entry point for your long or your short positions. So on the daily, Ethereum enters the new week near $1,858 after rejecting the upper 1,870s and testing the critical $1,850 region. The higher time frame recovery remains intact, but the immediate optimal entry point structure has shifted into a neutral decision state. The central question for this week is whether Ethereum can establish support above $1,850 and reclaim 1,864 through $1,868, or whether continued rejection opens a deeper retracement toward $1,842 and ultimately $1,824. Now let's take a look at the higher time frame structure. On the 1 hour chart, defines the current market conditions. Ethereum recovered from the lower 1,800s and advanced into resistance near $1,876. But that expansion failed to establish acceptance above the range. Price has since returned beneath the daily value structure while remaining above the broader weekly support structure. The optimal entry point state engine is neutral. The higher time frame reading is also neutral, and the microstructure is bare. This creates a compressed market position between immediate selling pressure and higher time frame support. Ethereum is not in confirmed bullish expansion, but it has not yet established a sustained bearish breakdown. So traders are going to have to make a decision at the $1,850 level. On the 30-minute chart, there shows the active decision zone. Ethereum declined from approximately $1,876, lost $1,868, and $1,864, and traced into the liquidity region between $1,856 and $1,850. Buyers responded beneath the range, but the rebound has stalled near 1,858 and remains below the levels required to restore bullish control. The first recovery level is 1,860. The more important reclaim is 1,864. Acceptance above 1,868 will restore access to 1,876 and begin repairing the larger structure. Until those levels are recovered, the current bounce should be treated as stabilization rather than a confirmed continuation. So let's take a look at the immediate optimal entry point path for your long and short positions. Let's look to the 15-minute chart. This is going to provide us with an immediate path on the Sunday evening prior to the Wall Street Open. Our optimum entry point state engine remains neutral. The higher time frame reading is still neutral, and the microstructure remains bare. Price is stabilizing directly above $1,856 after wicking into approximately 1,850. This creates a narrow decision range. Above 1,860, Ethereum can retest 1,864. Above 1,864, the market can begin rotating back toward $1,868 through $1,870. A confirmed recovery above the region would expose 1,876, but below 1,856, Ethereum returns to the $1,850 level. Sustained acceptance beneath $1,850 would activate the next downside objectives at approximately $1,842 and then potentially a dip down to $1,824. So let's look at our weekly objective price objectives. Um, as we look at the daily chart again, the daily chart keeps our larger forecast in context. Ethereum remains above the major recovery base created near 1500, but it is consolidating beneath substantial resistance. If 1850 holds and the market reclaims $1,868, the upside sequence remains 1876, then potentially 1900 and $1,928. Acceptance above this range would expose approximately $1,953 all the way up until $1,977. If 1850 fails, the bullish recovery pauses and the market becomes vulnerable to $1,842 and a dip down to 1824 and potentially the lower 1800 region. The weekly bias therefore remains recoverable, but is currently conditional rather than confirmed. So here's our final forecast for the week. The highest probability opening path is continued negotiation between $1,850 and $1,864. Ethereum must reclaim 1,864 and then establish acceptance above 1,868 to restore the bullish expansion path. Under that condition, $1,876 becomes the immediate objective, followed by a run to 1,900 and then a run to potentially 1,928. Continued rejection beneath 1,864 levels leaves the $1,850 boundary exposed, and sustained hourly acceptance below $1,850 would confirm deterioration and redirect the price toward 1,842 and approximately $1,824. The defining level for the beginning of the week is $1,850. Holding it preserves the recovery, losing it changes the weekly path. So stay tuned to the channel. This is before the Sunday evening volatility. We will track this structure live this evening. So you'll be able to see our optimal entry point state engine in real time working, telling you exactly what the market is doing and when there is significant bullish opportunity versus significant bear opportunity. So you can get the best entry point for your longs and your shorts. Catch you next time.